Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have Toronto Airport uncovered. What has Toronto Airport got to hide? I don't know, but it's from 2025. It's fairly recent. It's one season. I don't know how many episodes. What do you got? We got 10 episodes. I only watched one of them. They're each about 44 minutes long each. And really, the uncovered part is not so much any secrets they may be hiding. It's more about uncovering it from all the snow and the ice and everything that tends to accumulate. This is a story. It's kind of a docu-series reality type of thing. There's no drama that's created by people. Like there's nobody's backhanding anybody, or there's needless arguments or anything. It's more about the day-to-day work of the people on the ground. Not necessarily the air traffic control, where helping landing and launching. It's the people on the ground that get the planes into the gates and out of the gates, loaded with passengers and luggage, and out again. And also sometimes dealing with the occasional drunk passenger who stumbles onto the tarmac for whatever reason, and keeping it all like a smooth running machine. Yes, it's a separate group that determines whether your flight is delayed or not, rescuing it from a delay, than it is the people who are communicating with the planes and bringing them down. Something I didn't realize. I should have realized that it's a lot of work, bringing in all those planes or helping them take off. That you don't want to add another layer of craziness to that. There's a whole lot of craziness just dealing with them once the wheels are on the ground, or getting them in position to take off. So, this is for people who, if you ever wondered what it's like just to see how your luggage gets to where it needs to go, once you drop it off at the bag check, where does it hit? Where does it? What are all the little tags that you put on there, or they put on there? What do they mean? What do they trigger? And you get to see a little bit behind the scenes on that. You get to see in the control room, separate from the air traffic control, in the control room of the team that communicates with each one of the planes, each one of the crew. In the first episode, there's a situation where there's an unruly passenger, and they're the group that has to deal with that. Whether it's security, or just saying, okay, you know what, you brought a device that you won't turn off, and it's a CPAP machine. And some of them are allowed, but you need to clear them. Well, you get kicked off if you don't turn it off. So, they have to not just remove that person from the plane, but also they have to find their luggage amongst all the hundreds of pieces of luggage that have been checked, and then pull it out and make sure it goes with that passenger wherever they're going next, whether they're staying in Toronto or if they are going to catch the next flight once they work out the whole CPAP machine thing. In some cases, those flights are barely delayed. There's other situations where, say, a piece of overhead luggage in the overhead bin hits a attendant on the head and knocks her out. It happens. Rarely, but it happens, and they gotta get the EMTs or whatever in there to make sure they're all right and get them off the plane and replace them. And since they're dealing with a number of flights, at least in this episode, where they're going to different parts of India, and they need somebody who is at least bilingual between whatever the local languages in India. They're different. India's a large country, so they could speak not just English or French if it's it's Canadian, but also any of the Indian dialects that are prevalent for those people who are flying on that flight. So there's a lot of spinning plates, a lot of moving parts that need to be kept under control. So, and it's adding on top of all this, any airport has this kind of problem, but you're also dealing with, oh, by the way, are the fuel lines freezing up? Are the windows frosting over? Can we keep something from freezing over for 5 seconds? Because it's cold and there's a storm coming and it's going to make everything worse, but we all get pizza at the end of the night if we can all make it work for that shift. Because what we do is we get to see the late night shift, the overnight. I don't know if it's the full overnight, but they're late. It's pretty much nighttime for the entire run of the first episode. So, what they're going to do with other episodes? What's going on? Let's see what we got. So there's going to be a disaster, a runway emergency. Oh, there's even there's a crash land flight in episode 3. How do they deal with that? There's again more storms, unauthorized entry, more storms, more storms, lightning, and things, not just snow. But yeah, there's also just crazy amount of just dealing with a lot of people, because people can sometimes be a whole lot more trouble than any storm, regardless of the temperature. So definitely something you want to check out if you're interested in seeing how things work behind the scenes in some, honestly, I've flown plenty of times. I've flown around the world, and you take certain things for granted, and it's kind of amazing to see how complicated some of this stuff is, and the amount of people it takes to get. There's a team of like 50,000 people. 50,000 people working around the clock at the Toronto International Airport, one of the busiest, the busiest in Canada. But yeah, it's something to see. So, and we only get a little piece of the surface. And of course, they're going to show us only the more dramatic moments, one of the more exciting things that's going on, the conflicts and the struggles they have to go through. There's no episode that's going to be like, oh, it's a slow day. Yeah, nobody's traveling today. Oh, everything's going all right. The weather's perfect. No, you're not going to get those episodes. It doesn't make sense. You want to see the troubles that they have and how they overcome them. So, and cheer them on. So, yeah, and you, again, it's the accent on all of this, and it's not the Canadian a boot kind of thing. It's the accent on top of this is the often horrendous weather on top of just the normal day-to-day things. LAX is one of the busiest airports in the world, and I don't even imagine how intense and crazy and complicated that is. But we have perfect weather most of the time, like 99% of the time. Your flight's not going to be delayed due to weather here most of the time. It's going to be delayed. It's going to be delayed because of weather wherever some people are going. So, especially wintertime. All right, let's. You know what? I didn't press the button. It has to load because I had to recharge it. That's what happens. I could have done this while I was blabbing. All right, let's pick tomorrow's episode. 29. What do we got at number 29? Oh, okay. Again, the majority of the things that we have left, I say again because I say this seemingly every episode, we have a lot of docuseries, documentaries, reality shows, and live concert, behind-the-scenes kind of stuff that are all strangely in the same category, because I only started out with 4 categories at the time, and I felt, this more reality-based stuff, it's not a movie, and it's not a scripted series, and it's not a short. I threw them all into one thing. So there's the majority of things that remain on this list fall into that broad category, and they're going to be a lot of documentaries. In this case, it's a docu-series. The great thing is that so many of the documentaries that we watch, the reality shows, things like that, are very different. I rarely get 2 things in a row. I used to get shark things like 2-3 times a week, and it got exhausting to the point where I had to get rid of shark things for a while, and then I brought them back. So but we're doing it at once a week on Mondays. I've been saying Sundays, I think, the last few days. I was really confused easily, but Mondays. Anyway, this is very different than, Toronto Airport. We're going to be looking at Ghost Adventures, House Calls. We've already seen the original Root series of Ghost Adventures, and this one is House Calls. I thought they did that in Ghost Adventures, like they went to people's houses. I don't know, it seems redundant, but we'll see. It's a lot of paranormal investigation type stuff with Ghost Adventures, House Calls, and the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.